Hi, this is Acme with the Bulletin Board Heroes here at Zach's Traders Cafe for Thursday the 20th of July. Starting off with the FTSE 100 where we're making good progress above a rising 200-day line, that's around 75.50. Above that looking for a February resistance line target as high as 77.80 over the next couple of weeks, hopefully a bit sooner even. On the downside, hopefully nothing worse than the breakout of that breakout level of that June resistance line versus the 74.60 zone. RSI at 62, so doing well in terms of underlining the more bullish tone that we've got over RSI 50 over the last couple of days. On to the DAX, which is looking steady at the moment. Here, finding support at and above a rising 50-day moving average of 16,000, looking for a break of 16,300 plus, which was May June resistance, and that would then hopefully take us up as high as 17,200 by the end of next month at the top of that rising August 2022 trend channel. RSI at 56, which is just in the right place for further moves and further recovery, and at this stage only back below the 50-day line would open up the prospect of 15,600 as a worst case scenario on a need for this market to test for support. But with the 50 and 200-day lines rising, we're feeling pretty confident about the upside at the moment. Also looking quite confident at the moment is the Dow. Here we've managed to hit an initial target there on top of March rising trend channel, 35,100. End of day close through that could then open up as high as 37,200 by the end of next month, and obviously then we're stretching into new one-year highs for the Dow, which rather goes against the grain of the alleged economic situation, but does tie in with the traditional strong third year for the presidential term, and third year in the cycle out of four tends to be the one which is the most bullish, and we're seeing that even this year. On the downside, not really expecting now anything lower than 34,500, which was the old June and initial July support, even though we've got to factor in the potential of a test of the 50-day line once more, 33,700, but at the moment not expecting lower than the old recent resistance. On to Bitcoin, which continues to be frustrating as it has been for the past month, so in a range between 29,500 and around 32,000. The current situation is that we are maybe having to factor in that this market needs to test down to 28,800 in the 50-day line, maybe just a bit of a rug pull, but RSI bounced off the 50 level, so this could be the turning point after all these weeks. End of day close through 31,000 could give us as high as 35,500 by the end of next month. Moving on to the stocks, and stock with a decent contract win, good contract news today rather, is Acuity. Shares edging up against a rising 50-day moving average, rising quite sharply, bullish divergence line in the RSI wind as well. That suggests that we're very much in a rising trend channel from back in December, base of the channel at 6 3/4, and the target here as soon as the end of next month is high as 10.4 pence at that January resistance line. Moving along to Amigo, where I suppose every time we look at or able to look at the chart is a bonus. Here, if you didn't know this was Amigo and stock and a company which is not in the best fundamental position, you'd be looking at the unfilled gap to the upside, you'd be looking at support and the higher lows that come in there, and the rising 50-day line and the way the shares have bounced above a rising 50-day line, which is something you only normally see in the strongest of situations. In addition, we had an unfilled gap to the upside today. All that's missing now, I suppose, is to have an end-of-day close back above that March resistance line at around 0.9 pence to then take us up to 1.5 pence as soon as the end of next month. All sounds quite unbelievable, but at least on the charting basis, that is what we have at the moment. Looking better is the next stock, Alkemy. Here we had a little bear trap from below the old April support around £1.31, and bounced quite well since then, breaking a line of resistance from April and then breaking the 50-day line at £1.71. Above that, looking for up to £2.40 by the end of next month, driven by that rising rising 200-day moving average, just above the £2 level. Alien metals also coming back into play in a positive way, breaking a falling wedge, which has been in place since the end of April. That's around the 0.34 pence level. Above that, looking for June resistance in the low 40s, and then up to as high as the upper 50s maybe by the end of next month, or maybe going to September. But maybe a 1 to 2 month time frame could do the trick there after the extended bear market that we've had for the stock. On to another stock which looks like it's finally being more positive than of late. We've got Bezant, and here you can see that we've got the shares just breaking a line of resistance there from December around 0.04. Above that, and while we make no new lows, looking for as high as 0.07 over the next 4 to 6 weeks. If you're cautious, obviously wait for a break of July resistance around the just below the 0.05 pence level, but clearly that would give away a big percentage of the upside. On to Cleantech Lithium, which has been one of the stocks of the week, and here looking pretty strong given the way that we've had the break of that. Well, we had an unfilled gap to the upside start of the week through the 50-day line. Both the 50 and 200-day lines both rising now. The run up to a golden cross, and the golden cross tends to be, or the run up to a golden cross tends to be the strongest part of the cycle. That suggests that above our second target there, around 56 pence, we're looking for 70 pence as soon as the end of next month, and perhaps even sooner. Big picture target here is high as £1.20 maybe over the next 2 to 3 months, backed by the golden cross scenario that hopefully will happen over the next 2 to 3 weeks. On to Hummingbird, where the market is looking forward to next week's news, which was flagged recently. Here we're just breaking a line of resistance there from May. Above that line, around the 15 pence level, looking for a retest of the May resistance up to 20 pence after the bear trap and the bullish divergence that we've seen of late. At this stage, only really well below the late June peak of 4.75 delays the potential for a move to the high teens or 20s. Another stock which is on the move in a nice way today is Metals Exploration, gapped up. Got a rising 50-day line as well. And we're looking for 2.6 pence as soon as the end of this month, while we hold above 2 pence on the floor of the overnight gap. Ovoca is the next stock, next contender, Ovoca Bio, and here making good progress towards our initial target there, around 9.5 pence. Hopefully we'll see that over the next few days. If you're looking for what the next level may be, then you would be looking at a June 2022 resistance line projection heading for as high as 13 pence by the end of next month. Feeling bullish while we're above the 7.5 pence level, which is the top of the gap down that we had back in June. Optibiotix is next, and a bit strange really that after yesterday's great news that we are not making further progress, but at least we're up just about. A 200-day line around 12.5 pence level. Above that, we're looking for 20 pence as soon as the end of next month, while we remain above initial July resistance at 10 pence. One of the stocks which is finally starting to move is Seed Innovations, and here you can see that we had an attempt at breaking the 200-day moving average at 2.25 pence. Still looking for 2.5 pence by the end of next month. Big picture target over the next 1 to 2 months as high as 3 pence. So maybe that's by September time for Seed, and assuming that we don't go back below the rising 50-day moving average at 1.9 pence in the interim. On to Shield, and here it's a nice gap through the 200-day line that we've had, and also a line of resistance from February. That was around the 7.6 pence level. Looking for the shares to hit 10 pence by the end of next month, especially while they remain above the 50-day moving average around the 7 pence level. Another stock which is gapped up today, and deservedly so, is Shanta, with the gap through the 50 and the 50-day moving average at least. Want to see the shares remain above the floor of the gap around 9.8 pence. Above that, looking for as high as 13.5 pence and 1-year highs by the end of next month. Finishing off with Zenith, which is starting to move, or maybe in anticipation of the Tunisia news on the court case that it's got. Here we're trying to break the 50-day moving average around 0.42. Above that on a weekly close basis, looking for it up to 0.75 by the end of next month, backed by the uptrend line in the RSI window, which is a bullish divergence line. That's it for me today. More updates tomorrow.